Hey everybody, welcome back. We are in the year of our Lord, 2022, and we're relaunching the podcast. We're relaunching the social media with HardBody. It's all going to be coming at you for the rest of the year. Just a bit of a personal update without saying too much. I got a lot of work to do. I have a tendency to fall back and repeat the same mistakes over and over again. I thought I had a lot of this stuff under control, but I don't, and I need help. Right now, it's all really coming to a head. And this year and from here on out, I got to focus on being accountable. And right now, what's different is that I'm realizing that I can't do it alone. I have a lot of good traits, but I also have a lot of really bad traits, and I need a lot of help to fix that. I find myself in good situations, and I find a way to mess it up, and that's not sustainable. Simply put, I've hit rock bottom, and I need to be honest with myself and stop being fraudulent with everybody. HardBody is all about ascending to a higher level, and I feel like you always have to aim to the next level and be a better person, that we can all evolve, we can change for the better and be better versions of ourselves, and spread positivity to everyone and make everyone around you better. That's really the whole thing about being HardBody. It's just sticking with it. And I'm not perfect, and I'm not bulletproof, and I can slip up too, and I'm just putting it out there for everyone to see, because it's a process, and I've reached out to those closest to me for help, and no shame in saying this, I actually prayed on it, and I legitimately prayed for the first time in my life to really just kind of put it all out there. After all these things have happened to me, I'm at a point where I've just let go, and I let go in a way that I realize that I really just can't control anything anymore. Like, there's a path that I need to follow, and right now that path has been revealed to me, and I got to stick with it. I think in the past I was always being focused on being a control freak and try to manage every single component of my life and have it be a certain way, and if something budged if it budged even a little bit, it'd throw me off, and I'd have to try to correct it or force it to be in a way that I thought it was supposed to be. And honestly, it got me into a lot of trouble, because then what ends up happening is that with that control, you get a certain amount of power over things, and you start liking that power, and then because you know that you made it work for so long for whatever reason, it just your brain just kind of gets used to it, and you think that's because you can get away with things, that you don't have to apologize for it, and you just make it in your brain. Somehow you convince yourself that these things are all right to do, and they're not. And I gotta do better than that. And like I was saying, I've been doing a lot of reflection. I've been doing a lot of talking with friends, family, those closest to me, and I really do feel like a weight has been lifted from me, because I'm free. I'm free of trying to be, I don't know how to say, like, trying to be a certain way, and that way was just overall just damaging me. It wasn't really getting me ahead. Like I said, I have a lot of good traits, but some of those traits are kind of double-edged swords in that they can be used for bad and also good. And that's where I need the help. And I've reached out, and like I'm saying, the path has been laid out. Like, I've had a lot of revelations, and things have become a lot clearer now as to what I need to do. And all that's left for me to do is just to follow that path and complete the work that's set in front of me, and just have faith that it's going to all work out for the better, because I need to improve upon myself. I need to improve to be better towards my friends, my family, loved ones, all those around me. I can't fall back. Like, I was always doing like one step forward and two steps back, and that's not sustainable. And it's time to really zone in and focus on those things that would hold me back. And I think the biggest thing for me is admitting that for a long time, for as good as I came across as certain people, there was things I was doing that weren't right. And I've put it all out there to everyone that I need to be held accountable for my actions, and I need to be a better person, just a better human, because I don't want to be a fraud anymore. And I feel like with HardBody, I've got a good thing here. I think it's cool. It's fun. I think people can get behind it, but I can't just, talk the talk. I got to walk the walk, and I got to be about all of this. So I'm sorry. If it takes me a lifetime to earn forgiveness, then that's what I'll do without question. You deserve the very best version of me, and I'm hoping at the end of all this, that's what comes to light. So, that being said, welcome to 2022. This one. I mean, I'm just being real. Just because of poor life choices that I've done. I wish 2022 was already over. I wish I could just fall asleep, wake up in 2023, or not wake up at all. I don't know. At this point, it's just been wild. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And so, yeah, I wanted to start off with the personal stuff first, because I think anyone who's following and keeping up with the brand deserves that much, at least. So, yeah. So I'm gonna move away a little bit from the personal stuff and just kind of get into what the podcast is normally about, and that's just kind of general business updates. And first out, shout outs to Kevin over at Papa's Apothecary. We're still working together. Best beard oil in the business, and the hair oil now. So, and I think right now they've got a new subscription service. So you sign up, and then you don't even have to worry about ordering stuff anymore. They just send it to you automatically, which is perfect. So I suggest everybody check them out. I'll put their links in the description. I don't get paid by them. Kevin's just a homie. He's an herbalist out of Bastyr University. He knows his stuff. And one thing I'll say, one time I had to get beard oil. Like, I kept some at work, but I ran out of Papa's Apothecary beard oil, and I went to doesn't matter the store, but I just bought some beard oil. I was like, okay, I'll take it, because sometimes at work I'm trying to look fresh in the Zoom meetings right now, and I bought some replacement beard oil, and it was disgusting. It was thick, it smelled funny, and I was just greasy all day. Whereas Kevin's beard oil, it's super light. It feels fresh, and it keeps me glistening. So just shout out to Kevin. They got really good products, and I suggest you check out the entire line of products that they got. One of my favorites too is also the yoga mat spray. I use it all the time. So please do check them out. And thanks again to Kevin for continuing to work with me throughout all these years. Again, great guy, great business, and check him out. So yeah, let's see. You know what? I feel like I started this podcast during the pandemic, and we're still in it. So I was hoping things would be a little bit different at this point, but I think everyone's just tired. I'm tired. My, employees at work are tired. It's just, we still don't know what's going on. I just got my booster, and it's like, just are we going to get one every 6 months, or what's going on? Like, I don't even know. It's like, just send everyone a booster shot at home, and then we just take it or something. Come up with a subscription service like Kevin did. I don't know. But it's just like, everyone's tired. No one knows when it's going to end. Is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse? Things just keep going up and down. I don't know. I think my hope is that this thing just turns into like every other common cold or ailment. I hope that's what happens, and we all just kind of get immune towards it, and we just move on. It's weird because businesses don't know what to do either. You go to a restaurant, it's like you prove your vaccination, but it's like, okay, so but you can still get COVID, and then you're at a restaurant, and then you can take off your mask, but there's other people around you who are eating without masks, and it's like, well, we can still spread it to each other, and we're still walking around with masks, and it's a mess. No one knows anything, and even like not to get too political, but even with the previous administration and the current administration, it's like we're still kind of on the same boat, and I don't know. It's been wild, and again, here I am, started during a pandemic, and then 2 years later, still in a pandemic. So it's been crazy. So the whole world's going through this, so hopefully we can come out a little better after this craziness. So yeah, just keep it moving. Business updates. So welcome to HardBody Studios. As you can see, we've got a new production. I got the new setup. I'm streamlining the podcast and how I film it and record it and all that. So it's just I'm trying to go for like a early 90s public access vibe. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but and it's easier this way to just, if I have a guest, it's just, I think it'll be a better look going forward, and just standardizing the whole process to make it easier for me, so I can, before I was doing them in my living room, and first off, that's my living room, it's my personal space, and then I gotta have everybody all up in there. It's all good, but it's just I didn't like the layout, and there wasn't much flexibility behind it, so I came up with this alternative, and I think it's working fairly well. Let me know if you like it or not. I don't know if I can change it though, so I'm kind of limited on space, so we're just gonna be stuck with it. Sorry, but I like it, and I got some good feedback on it, so here we are. So yeah, really, I'll let you guys know. I have merchandise. I just haven't put it up for sale. I'll give you a clue. It's something that I'm always been talking about, and that's booty shorts. But I'll show them to you later. If you see me at the gym, you'll probably see them. I'm testing them out, and so far so good. But yeah, so I have merchandise. I've been talking about it for a minute. I do have actual product. It's just I want to maybe get another item, or at least one or two more items like in stock, so I can actually put them on a website and then start selling. So it's moving slowly but surely. Like I said, this is a passion project, but I do need to get on actually getting merchandise for everybody to cop and get this, showing people that this is a real thing, and then just building awareness on social media. So those are the things that I'll be working on. Right now, as you can see, if you've noticed on my YouTube, I've uploaded the archives of our Twitch stream. So I'm trying to integrate streaming with the HardBody platform, and because honestly, nowadays all brands are multi-platform. The biggest thing going right now is TikTok, and people are building companies out of 30-second video clips. I mean, that's insane. And it's just everybody's looking for a way to stick out, and that's just how it is. And kind of figuring out what people react to on social media, and business has got to evolve. I get it. It's not my favorite, but yeah, everyone's got to diversify how they get their brand across, and so it all makes sense. Right now, what I want to put out is keep working on the streaming for HardBody. If you guys have noticed, I stream old games. Well, just one old game, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that came out like in the year 2000. So old school gaming is a very particular niche in streaming, so it's a little easier to stick out. And I'm having in-person sessions. People come over. If you want to know, we stream off the Dreamcast, and it's been fun. It's a lot of work, but people do seem to tune in, and I'll just keep growing that audience. And it's cool because what I like about HardBody is it's me, right? I'm integrating things that I find fun, and I think if I'm genuine about it, like, which I am, and people see that, they'll be interested in the products and the brand, the podcast, kind of all of it being integrated together. So yeah, I'm going to keep going with the Twitch. I'm going to keep maybe teasing some designs on social medias. And so yeah, we're just going to keep it going. Like I said, I know I slipped up for a minute. Lots of stuff going on, but right now it's just time to really buckle down and put in the work. I only got one chance at this, so I might as well give it my all. And if it fails, so be it. But at least I can say that I put in the work and I tried it. So, that's where we're at in terms of the business. Also, I got some pretty interesting feedback from a friend at work. He goes, "So yeah, man, your podcast is cool, but why is it so long?" I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he goes, well, it's like, if I'm watching or listening to something, like, I want things like bullet points. I'm like, okay. And it's, it's valid. If anyone, what I've kind of noticed nowadays is anyone who's doing like any kind of solo commentary, it's at the most 45 minutes, but it's like 15 to 30, kind of around there. That's probably the sweet spot. Unless you have a guest, then obviously, it's more of a conversation or interview or whatever you want to call it. But so yeah, I'm gonna focus on not trying to cram too much content in each little podcast that I put out, but just enough. And it actually makes it easier for me because it's easier to make, aim for like 20, 30 minutes versus, an entire hour. Like that's a lot of work. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but it's definitely, it takes time and effort to really kind of write that up on top of, actual job and other responsibilities that I have. So yeah, I'm going to try to aim for like a more reasonable length for the podcast. Nothing too crazy. Of course, unless I have guests, and I want that can be more of a natural, let it play out naturally, let it breathe. And if it's short, cool. If it goes, an hour and a half or whatever, it's all good. So just heads up. So if I do have a guest, I'm not trying to cram, an entire conversation into 30 minutes, but just if I do a solo podcast, I'm going to aim for, 20, 30 minutes versus, an hour or 2 hours for a long form podcast with guests. So thanks for the criticism. And it's all good. Like, that's just, I'm open to suggestions, just because if it's stuff you're interested, if you find this interesting and you like it, I want to make it better. So it's all good. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just relaunching everything and trying to be consistent. I think that's going to be the big thing going forward. So, yeah. And also, one last thing, I wanted to touch on UFC 270, first big pay-per-view of 2022. Interesting co-main and main events. Davison Figueiredo defeats Brandon Moreno, unanimous decision. I thought Brandon won, but I don't have to rewatch it. Well, I won't rewatch it. I don't have that kind of time. But I thought Brandon won that fight. Also, interesting that during the fight, a bunch of Mexicans started chanting "Let's go, Brandon." Thought that was funny and ironic. I don't know if people in the audience knew what they were doing, or they probably did, but it was towards the Mexican. I don't know. Just saying. Interesting. It was a very Mexican crowd. I forget where it was. I think it was SoCal somewhere, but just an interesting tidbit. And of course, the main event that everyone was salivating over, and that is Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane. And it was interesting because Francis was the underdog, and for the current champ to be the underdog is kind of interesting. That's weird. Usually, that if that happens, someone knows something. And what I noticed is that Francis came out with knee sleeves, and he never wears any kind of knee protection or anything like that. So, so that maybe he got injured during his fight. I didn't read anything on that, but they were speculating that on the broadcast. And yeah, it went the distance, 25 minutes, 5 rounds. I think if Cyril, well, I think in the last 2 rounds, Cyril got taken down, and then he tried some funny stuff. I think he went for a heel hook, and Francis was able to just stay on top, remain in control, even though he was gassed, but he still managed to just gut it out, which is pretty impressive because I think everyone knows Francis has ridiculous power, but he can barely like his ground game is not great. Like, he can muscle a lot of stuff, but I think he just, because he lacks the technique, he gasses out and he'll just muscle stuff, and that's really not good long term, especially if you're fighting 25 minutes. But he toughed it out, so it was impressive that he kind of, even though, you know, people expected him to knock Cyril Gane out in, you know, the first few minutes, it didn't happen. But he pulled through and managed to come out on top with just on points. So interesting test for Ngannou, and I don't know. We'll see if he goes on to boxing. That's kind of what everyone wants him to do. Maybe he could fight Tyson Fury. I don't think he'd do well, but he has a chance just with that ridiculous power. So, yeah, that's all we got for today. Just really just wanted to put this out there for everyone and kind of hold myself accountable and being consistent with the podcast, updating, letting you guys know that the brand's still going. I'm going to put my Twitch links down at the bottom. So follow us on Twitch. And like I said, I'm going to start putting some stuff out there, more teasers, and hopefully in the next few months have 1 or 2 more products that I can, so maybe 2 to 3 total on the webpage, and you guys can actually support and buy stuff, because it's time. Like I said, it's time to really buckle down and just get this going. So again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Shout outs to everybody who's been keeping up with HardBody, and blessings to all of you. See ya.